Welcome to Premium Times Half Hour on Radio. In this podcast, we discuss the Premium Times exclusive report that looked into the awakening that caused Nigerian governors to recommend 33 steps to President Muhammadu Buhari on how to rescue the Nigerian economy.
Their news platform brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out. Investigations, special reports, analysis, and breaking news. Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform, brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out.
A very good morning to you, beautiful people of Abuja, and it's quite a cozy one this morning or wet. My name is Chiamaka Ukafo, and welcome to Premium Times Half Hour on Citizen FM 93.7. This week, as always, we'll be discussing the state of Nigeria's economy and the rude awakening that has caused our governors to recommend 3 steps to President Buhari on how to rescue the economy. We are breaking down a Premium Times exclusive report with governors of Nigeria asking Mr. President to take 33 steps to rescue our dwindling economy. We will be joined by Premium Times assistant editor on the business desk to discuss this report. As always, I have beautiful ladies with me in the studio this morning, and Titi Lokbe Fadari and Queen Esther Iranisi this morning. They'll be joining me to discuss this very important topic. Hello ladies, how are you feeling this cozy morning?
Hi Amaka, how are you feeling? I'm feeling cold anyways. I'm cold.
I think this weather is typically for me, so I'm doing very well. On this show, Premium Times Half Hour, we discuss important issues that should concern you as a Nigerian citizen. Premium Times is Nigeria's leading investigative and accountability platform. We bring this show to you every week as part of our mandate of providing information you need to make informed decisions. This show spotlights exclusive reports produced by Premium Times reporters from in-depth investigations, unique analysis, and human angle stories. This is an audience-centered program, meaning you will be able to call in later to share your opinion with us on the following numbers: 090 32 22 97 97. I'll take that again. 090 32 22 97 97. 080 82 22 20 37. 080 82 22 20 37. Or you can also call 081 82 22 22 05. 081 82 22 22 05. These are the numbers you can call us on to get and join the conversation. Before we delve into today's special report, one of our co-presenters, Queen Esther, will bring us up to date on some stories we published during the week. Queen Esther, over to you.
So within the week, Premium Times published a couple of reports. There was an exclusive report on the police accusing prison officials of extortion before remanding suspects. We also published another exclusive report on President Buhari's suspension of $480 million Paris Club refund plan, as minister has clashed at the Federal Executive Council meeting. So the governors, under the umbrella of the NGF, that is Nigerian Governors Forum, they had last week resisted attempts to commence the reduction plan. The governors, in a letter to the federal government through the SGF, that's Boss Mustafa, they argued that an attempt to restart the deduction process is being challenged in courts, for which the Supreme Court has made a pronouncement and would be unconstitutional. And lastly, we published a report talking about the US releasing a new African policy to counter China and Russia. I don't know, Titi, it looks like this week was basically like a week of checks and balances in government.
Yeah, I would say that because, I mean, checks and balancing is what we've been clamoring for. Mm-hmm. And we need a system that actually works through democracy and accountability. And I believe if we begin to see more state actors adopt this particular approach, it will definitely advance our governance system.
Right.
Thank you, Kunesta. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll be joined by Oladinde Olawoyin, a Premium Times assistant editor on the business desk, who will break down this report for us. Don't go nowhere. Stay locked.
Podcasts and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out.
Thank you and welcome back again. If you're just joining us, this is Premium Times Half Hour, brought to you by Premium Times on Citizen FM 93.7. Before we are joined by Oladinde Olawoyin, Premium Times assistant editor on the business desk, let's get to know what this report is about. Have you ever tried to withdraw from an ATM and then the ATM gets back saying insufficient funds? That perhaps is where Nigeria may be headed if the federal government does not heed the advice of the governors. According to this exclusive report, what Nigeria spends on debt servicing is well over the revenue it generates. That is, the money that comes into our purse is less than the money that goes out. Nigeria spends what it does not earn. According to details of the 2022 Fiscal Performance Report for January through April, Nigeria's total revenue stood at 1.63 trillion naira, while debt servicing stood at 1.94 trillion naira, showing a deficit of over 300 billion. The governor stated that the cost of governance in Nigeria is too high and should be cut. This has been a topic that's been on the lips of almost every Nigerian over the years. In order to cut costs of governance, the governors advised the federal government to offer federal civil servants who are older than 50 a one-off retirement package to exit the service. As part of their intervention to save the dwindling economy, they urged the federal government to immediately stop the CBN from financing government budget deficit through ways and means mechanism. For now, the government owes the CBN 19 trillion naira. Nigeria is broke, and if we do not get a grip of the situation, we may be bankrupt, which I believe explains the urgency in the governor's recommendations. Our business desk editor that reported this, the balance in Nigeria's excess crude account, we heard this last week, had depleted significantly from $35.37 million to $376,655, leaving the nation with no buffers to stabilize the economy and its currency. Some of the recommendations in this report, which the governors made, include implementation of the Stephen Orasanya report, cutting down foreign trips by MDAs. The governors actually want foreign trips to be put on hold for at least 1 year. They recommend that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should only issue requests for visas to foreign embassies for federal government officials and their families only when they get an express approval from the presidency. They also recommended that VAT should be increased to 10%. It's currently at 7.5%, but they want it increased to 10%, with a timeline to raise it between 15% to 20%. They also want offshore crude oil and gas production improved, while the CBN should be directed to focus on its core statutory mandate of exchange rate management, interest rate management, and inflation targeting. It should be directed to cease competing with development and commercial bank, the governor said. Queen Esther and Titi, I haven't read all of this to you this morning. I mean, what would be your quick reaction to the governor's recommendations?
For me, one thing that is catchy for me in this report is the mention of the Orasanya report. You know, this thing is always coming up. I mean, for years now, we always see it. And this is not the first time. Besides the fact that, I mean, yeah, we should cut foreign trips. I also think they need to recommend this, they need to adopt these recommendations. The report had said we should cut down MDAs. I think that alone is something the federal government should consider. There are many, and I think that there are also legislations that are seeking to establish new agencies every day at the National Assembly. I don't know. I think they should really consider it.
I'm sure Oladinde is here and happy to join us and to answer your I don't know or provide knowings to your I don't know. Thank you, Oladinde, for joining us today. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you. I can hear you.
Okay, so you are the expert here. So haven't read all of this, haven't written this exclusive report yourself. What does all of this mean for Nigeria and its immediate future, with 2023 in mind, of course?
Okay. Yeah, what means essentially is that Nigeria has a serious revenue problem, and this is, mixed with a productivity challenge that also manifests in our cost of governance. So it essentially means that we need serious, we need to actually rejig our revenue plan, and this is how it works. Okay, last month, some report released by the Ministry of Finance and National Planning showed that our debt service actually surpassed our revenue. So, and it shows that our debt service got about 1.9 trillion between January and April. That's the first quarter of the year, and our retail revenue was just about 1.6. So it means that we have to service debt with about 120 or let's say 118% of our revenue. So maybe we should bring it down to the simplest form. What it means is that if we hand 100 naira within that period, that's the first quarter of the year, we have to cough out about 118 naira to service debt. And since we only hand 100 naira, it means we have to get the 18 naira differential somewhere. So that's why we have to go borrowing. So in simple terms, we are borrowing to service our debt. And this is a very, very serious concern. And in order to avoid fiscal collapse, I think it's imperative for the nation to address some of these issues and put in measures in place to address and to rejig our revenue plan and to make our governance system sustainable. So we all know what happened in Sri Lanka, and the signs are not really, really cool. So that's the essence, that's the context within which the suggestions by the governor's forum was presented.
Yeah, thank you, Oladende. Titi, what was the shocking look on your face while Oladende talked about what this could mean for Nigeria?
Okay, I believe the conversation around cutting the cost of governance has been a very recurring one, and so far, hopefully, with the fact that the governors are now the ones clamoring for it, I'm asking Dende, do you think it's going to be any different? Are they going to be adopting it because they are the ones pushing for the cutting of cost of governance?
Yeah, well, maybe, perhaps. Because, like I said, the idea of cutting cost of governance we've already had this debate about whether we have our governance cost is sustainable or not. And I think it's mostly a top-bottom kind of thing. So I think since it is coming from governors this time around, maybe with the right policy environment and the political will, because that has been the challenge. It's not enough for us to say that our governance cost is too high. We have to have that political will to actually rejig the system. There have been reports in the past on how to actually ensure that our cost of governance is sustainable. There's a popular Stephen Arsayan report. So many have questions why governors are not implementing these suggestions in their states. But I understand that even in terms of fiscal discipline, some states have much more discipline in quotes now than others. So I think since the push is now coming from the governors, perhaps we might have something significant coming up this time around.
Thank you, Oladende. So really, the cock has finally come home to roost. I hope that's very correct. Please remember that this is an audience-centered program, meaning that you can call us right away if you want to share your opinion or ask a few questions around the topic of discussion. The numbers to call are 090-3222-9797, 090-3222-9797, or 080-8222-2037, 080-8222-2037. Or you can also call 081-8222-2205. 081-8222-2205. Gwynesta, over to you. What question do you have for Oladende?
Yeah, I just want to know what the CBN Act says about borrowing, because the report mentioned the 19 trillion naira debt. So what does the CBN Act say about borrowing?
Okay, I would say that the CBN deficit, the way it works, the financing of the government deficit the way it works is that the act actually, the act establishing the CBN actually empowers it to lend support to the government in terms of uncertainty like we have now. But because the system understands that they are human, so people can actually behave within, outside of the context of what is appropriate. So the Act actually explains the percentage of the support that the CBN can give to the government. Actually, there's a percentage of the previous year revenue that the government can get from the CBN. But, however, in gross contravention of this particular section of the Act, from a regulative.
Sorry, Oladinde, so we can hardly hear you. And Oladinde is joining us from Lagos and he's on the phone. So could you please take that again on what the CBN Act says about borrowing?
Okay, can you hear me now? Is
yes.
It clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I said the CBN Act actually provides the kind of support that the government can get from the CBN. And because the Act itself understands that there are humans, in charge of the CBN, so there's a benchmark to which they can go in terms of providing support to funding the government deficit. So, because the CBN actually provides that, because of uncertainty like we have now. So there's a percentage of the previous year revenue that the government can get from the CBN in terms of support, and that's what we call the Ways and Means Facility. But in gross contravention of this Act, especially in recent years, we have seen that the CBN has funded the government deficit up to the tune of about 19 trillion naira. So that's from a relatively mega figure of about just 600 billion in 2010 or thereabouts. So that is a major fiscal concern. And over the years, we've seen the World Bank and some other rating agencies in the world, like the Fitch and some other, the Moody's, they've come out to say that the CBN has risen, it has had to stop that particular facility. The fact that it is becoming unsustainable. In fact, sometime in 2016, a member of a major economist in Nigeria, Dr. Denis Salami, actually came out to say that the CBN was providing support to the government as though it was a piggy bank, because it was becoming unsustainable. At that time, it wasn't up to 19 trillion. So it means essentially that the CBN support is in legislation, it's supported by legislation. But there's a benchmark which the CBN has actually gone in contravention of, which makes it concerning. So that's why they're trying to convert it to a 19 trillion debt, according to the advice given by the governors this time around. So we're hoping that perhaps something significant will come out of this advice, since it's coming from the government.
Yeah, thank you, Dede. Dear listeners, remember that you can call us to put mouths in this matter. The numbers to call again are 090 32 22 9797, 090 32 22 9797, or 080 82 22 20 37, 080 82 22 20 37, or you can also call 081 82 22 22 05, 081 82 22 22 05. So, Dede, just another question. This is an exclusive report. You wrote this report. Are you hearing anything that sounds like possible implementation of the recommendations made by the governors from your sources?
Well, maybe not exactly, because, like I said, it's a suggestion on the part of the governors. It's not necessarily a policy statement of the government, and it's open to so many interpretations and debates. Like I said, if you look at the measures, we've been put forward. Some of them are quite tough, and some of them are very, very controversial. Like the aspect of asking a civil servant of 50 years and above to be paid off. So it's very controversial, and if it is going to be, if they are going to implement it anyway, there will be so many hurdles to face. I've seen labor unions come out to say that it is never going to happen. So those are issues that will still be subject to debate. So they are not policy pronouncements per se. But given the dire situation we find ourselves economically, it is imperative that these issues are urgently looked at by the government.
Thank you very much, Oladinde. Please stay with us. We will take a short break now, and when we return, we would like to hear your take, Nigerians, on where we are headed as a country. But before then, please remember that these are the numbers to call: 090 32 22 9797, 090 32 22 9797, 080 82 22 2097, 080 82 22 2097, or 081 82 22 22 05, 081 82 22 22 05. We're going on a short break. Please stay locked.
investigations, special reports, analysis, and breaking news. Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform, brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport, and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Premium Times Half Hour, brought to you by Premium Times on Citizen FM 93.7. We've been discussing the Premium Times exclusive report where governors are asking President Buhari to take 33 steps to rescue the economy. We have Oladinde Olawoyin joining us in the studio today all the way from Lagos. Mr. Olawoyin is Premium Times' assistant business editor on the business desk. Please call us on the following numbers to make your comments and ask your questions. Again, the numbers are 090 32 22 97 97, 090 32 22 97 97, 080 82 22 20 37, 080 82 22 20 37, or you can also call 081 82 22 22 05, 081 82 22 22 05, and we will be waiting for your call. Queen Esther, if you were a government official and the government is saying no more trips for you in the next 1 year, I mean, you've been enjoying all of those trips almost all your life being in the public service, how would you react?
Well, I would want to look at this is just me trying to sound modest now. I like to look at the end result. I mean, the end game is to make us have more money. The end game is to make us earn more and stop borrowing at least. So I honestly believe that most of the trips are totally unnecessary. If you look at the budgets of these ministries, MDAs, even lawmakers, you see the kind of things they go for and they travel for, and like really, it's okay if it's coming out of your pocket or you want to go for a vacation and all that. It's totally understandable. But if I was a government official, honestly, I would consider it. Consider the end result, really.
And Titi, for you as a Nigerian citizen who is still trying to get acquainted or get used to paying 7.5% VAT, and we're saying you're moving on to 10, and the 10 is temporary because in the next few months or in the nearest future, this is going to be 15 or 20. So how would you react?
Well, it's just two things. If I'm being patriotic, maybe Japa. And if not, I would have to increase my source of income.
And when there's no alternative source of income, what happens? Please, these are the numbers to call callers and make your contributions. Let us know how you feel about this, because of course this is going to affect you and I as Nigerians. The numbers to call are 090 32 22 97 97, 090 32 22 97 97, 080 82 22 20 37, 080 82 22 20 37, or you can call 081 82 22 22 05, 081 82 22 22 05. These are the numbers to call, and we'll be expecting your calls any moment from now. In the absence of any more calls, or while we wait for your call, please, Titi, would you kindly bring our listeners up to date on the reports they missed during the week?
All right, Samaka, there are some interesting reports that Premium Times published during the week. First, we published an exclusive report of the police accusing prison officials of extortion before remanding suspects. We also published another exclusive on President Buhari's suspension of $418 million Paris Club refund plan as the ministers clash at the Federal Executive Council. Governors under the umbrella of the Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, last week resisted attempts to commence the deduction plan. The governors, in the letter to the federal government through the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, argued that an attempt to restart the deduction process, which is being challenged in the courts and for which the Supreme Court has made a pronouncement, would be unconstitutional. And we published a report talking about the US releasing a new African policy to counter China and Russia. You can read more on this report on www.premiumtimesng.com. Lastly, Premium Times also holds weekly spaces on Twitter where citizens are allowed opportunities to speak with government officials on important issues facing our country. It's held every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Twitter. We also have emergencies in Twitter Spaces as well.
Thank you very much, TT, for that update. Thank you very much also, Aladin Diolawin, Premium Times Assistant Editor, for joining us today. This is where we wrap up for today's episode and our time here in the studio. Thank you, ladies, so much for being part of this, as always. And make sure you keep your dial logged onto Premium Times Half Hour every Thursday at 11:05 a.m. on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Again, this show is brought to you by Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform which serves you every minute stories that can help you make informed decisions and hold public officials and individuals as well as organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting contents for your delight. For timely updates on politics, entertainment, sports, and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. God willing, we will be here again, same time, same day, next week. From Titi Lokwe, Queen Esther, and myself, Chiamaka. Have a great weekend.
Breaking news. Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform, brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport, and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out. Investigations, special reports, analysis, and breaking news. Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform, brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport, and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. Don't miss out. Investigations, special reports, analysis, and breaking news. Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform, brings to you every minute stories that helps you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. For timely update on politics, entertainment, sport, and business, visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on